Doug Ford was on breakfast television this morning, and he raised some issues about a proper memorial for former Mayor Rob Ford. Have you had any discussions with the family about that? Because his quote on breakfast television this morning was, "We haven't heard a word from John Tory."
Well, it's interesting because there was a process followed, a suggestion made. The way these things happen, there is a proposal made by a citizen or by the Ford family or by anybody as to what might be named after somebody like former Mayor Rob Ford. And I should say, by the way, it's a solemn day today because we are commemorating the first anniversary of his death. There was a proposal made to rename a park after Mayor Ford in Etobicoke, and that proposal just 1 month ago was turned down by the family. And they have the right to turn it down. And so that was done. I will tell you, the first I heard of the desire they have to have a football stadium named after him, I heard it through a Toronto radio station. And I had lunch with Councillor Michael Ford last Tuesday, the day I left for India. So the family hadn't communicated to me a wish they had to have a proposal considered for this football stadium, but now I know about it. I did talk to Councillor Michael Ford as recently as that lunch a week ago, and everybody knows my phone number. But look, what we're doing here now, we shouldn't turn this into a political football, and I regret the fact that Mr. Ford seems to be trying to do that. What we're going to do is find a way, with the proper consultation that is provided for in the policy, to have a suitable memorial to Mr. Ford's life and his public work, and we will do that in an orderly fashion as quickly as allows us to get it done properly, and then we will all celebrate together what this process produces.
Will you be personally involved in that process?
Well, it actually, I think quite properly, is mostly left to the staff of the city. But now we know, whether it's through radio or otherwise, we know that the Ford family, and I've got to get this confirmed, they haven't told me directly, but we know they seemingly think that this football stadium naming in Centennial Park is the best idea, and that has to go through a process. There is a process for all these renamings so they don't become political footballs, and so they become something that people can feel happy and proud about, which is mostly what I think the Ford family would want for Rob Ford. So we will put this into the process. I will be involved as I am in most things. I mean, I end up being accountable for everything that goes on in the city, whether I have a direct involvement or not, and I'm not complaining about that, so I'm sure I'll be involved in some way or other.
And how do you think the city should best memorialize Rob Ford?
Well, I think we should do it in a way that makes the family happy because they're the best chance we have of finding out what Mr. Ford himself would have liked. I think we have to make sure that the decision has the confidence of the City Council. Obviously, they have to approve it, and of the people. But I think something that does relate to football and his passionate love for sports and for football might be quite appropriate. But look, let's let this process happen in the proper manner. We now have, just in the last 24 hours effectively, the wishes of the Ford family that they've conveyed through the media, and we will have the proper process and try to make sure this happens in a way that's classy and that befits something that is meant to honor the memory of a former mayor.
All right. Mayor Tory, thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.